Tengah Residences sold out 99% on the launch day. I'm curious, are the buyer buying something that is worthy or they are paying for a vision that's 5 years later? Welcome to the Marketplace Inside.
So the Marketplace Inside is where we talk about real Singapore property. We cut through the noise and we help the people to make smarter moves.
That's right. So, Andrew, I'm just curious, what is Tengah all about?
Tengah.
Tengah. 比较自然嘛，但你就会讲 what is Tengah and then 就这样。
Actually, some say Tengah is the next Punggol.
Yeah, I think so. Because last time when we look at Punggol, we think that it's very cool. But look at the HDB prices now. Even a 4-room flat, 5-room flat is 700 plus, 800 plus for those that very near to Waterway Point. Yeah, so I think that is actually legit to say that Tengah is the next Punggol. But why?
Okay, maybe I share a bit more about Tengah in general because I think a lot of people, they don't know where is Tengah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know where's Tengah. That's right.
Yeah.
They thought it's some sort of like army camp or something, because this name sounds very foreign to most of the Singaporean.
Correct. So basically, it's actually 700 hectares of military. Okay.
Oh, so used to be military land.
Yes, that's why a lot of people wouldn't know unless maybe you are NS men.
Right.
Otherwise, of course, the whole Tengah actually is bordering Jurong East and then Choa Chu Kang and of course Bukit Batok.
Okay, right. Then 你可以看前面也是，所以你有一些 frontal shot 也是。
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically also the vision for Tengah is actually a forest town where they actually envision a car-free town centre.
Right.
And then of course a 5 km forest corridor and also 42,000 homes across the 5 districts. So mainly the 5 districts are like Plantation, Garden, Park and Brickland and even Forest Hill.
Right. So Tengah is actually the new town, right?
Newest
as of today. Okay. Then what about when we look into Tengah? What is your feelings about it when this Tengah thing come to you?
For Tengah now, because we can't really see many things that are in place yet. For example, like we're actually expecting the Jurong Region Line. The Jurong Region Line. Yeah, so it hasn't been built finished. So in that case, accessibility isn't there yet I would say, connectivity wise. And then of course, but if let's say we talk about the current status on the ground, the construction that is happening now, for now, we are already in the phase. Actually, 14,000 flats has already been built as of early 2026. Yeah, so nearly half of the planned 30,000 HDB units that are actually planned already.
Right.
Then, of course, if we're talking about amenities-wise, Plantation Plaza actually opened in 2020. And then Park Point, they already opened Q1 this year. So which includes like polyclinic, 40 over shops, bus interchange. There's also Pioneer Prem, and of course there is also ACS that is coming in 2030. Right. So that is the crucial part ACS, because they're gonna be a co-ed school.
And I think the resale transaction price in Q1 2026 is average about 480 to 520 PSF. It's actually relatively about 5-6% higher than Choa Chu Kang and the area
Yes.
So what do you see about this?
Actually, I think people are planning for the ACS one. Because the school.
Right.
Yeah. So actually when they move from our current site to Tengah, when the plans were actually announced, a lot of people were actually stunned. They didn't expect that move.
To such a ulu place.
Yes.
Right. So you think, is that a reason for this move is because government actually came in to ensure that this town will be able to get buyers' interest into this area?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very smart move because ultimately people need a reason to move to a new township.
Correct. If there's nothing, then it's hard for me to make a move also
Yeah.
Correct. So I'm also thinking, let's talk about Tengah residents. On the first day, 99%. So out of 863 units actually sold 85.
Yep.
So meaning if I'm not wrong, only left 10 4-bedders unit that is not sold yet because of the pricing. The quantum is bigger for sure. Do you think the buyer is actually from just the Jurong side, or you think that is actually, because we understand that 90% are Singapore buyers?
Yep.
Right. So where are these buyers coming from?
So I believe these buyers are, of course, like you mentioned, they're all Singaporean. They are all actually planning their moves, and of course with the ACS school that I mentioned, and of course with the price quantum. It's actually Tengah Garden Residences is actually one of the most palatable price in Singapore this year. Yeah,
I think the PSF, the lowest for it was 2-bedder at 1779 PSF. And the average for this Tengah Residences is actually 2120.
Yeah.
Which is, if you compare to the new launches in Clementi, which is average about 2003 to 2007 PSF.
Yeah.
Tengah Residences is actually very, very affordable. And when we talk about whether Tengah Residences is a buy today or for a vision 5 years later, personally, I think that in order for that vision to benefit you, you got to act today.
Yep.
You get what I mean? It's like when you wait until
Everything
Punggol,
is
we wait until Punggol is become like mature or already being highly priced after that, it's too late to go in.
Yeah.
So sometimes if we want to enjoy the vision, we need to act before the vision take place.
Correct.
And that is why I think a lot of buyer actually make the decision to buy Tengah Residence.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I think the major move is, of course, because we are seeing the current land price actually increasing every year. So when these Tengah Garden Residences, they managed to launch at this price, it's because they had a very good entry price when they bidded for the land. Yeah. So that's why, as you can see, the land prices are going up. And then, of course, with all the war that is happening, we can only expect prices to go up. So if this is most affordable, don't you think you should enter now?
And I think you can see from the developer side, because usually developer used to one developer actually own one project by themselves.
Yep.
But because of the pricing, the bidding price is going higher and higher now. For example, Tengah Residences is actually a combination of 3 developers. Kuko Land, CSC Land Group, as well as Hong Leong.
Yep.
So you can see that the pricing is to the extent that they need to have a collaboration to make it feasible. You see, because nobody can 100% predict the outcome, you see.
Yep.
But I think Tengah Residences shows that Singapore buyers are very ready to make the move. But a lot of our friends are still sitting on the fence thinking whether they should make a move or not. What do you got to say about this?
Like I mentioned, with the land prices going up, that means with construction going up, with manpower costs going up, do you think when you wait and see, do you think the price will go up or down?
Go up lah.
Yeah, lor. So I think it makes financial sense to actually enter today rather than next year, for example.
But what about, how do I know whether I should buy or not? I mean, a lot of people buy Tengah. What is the exit strategy? What is the game plan for this?
The game plan, of course, they are buying into the future of maybe 2030, right? Of course, when the Jurong Region Line is up, when ACS have officially moved as well, and then of course they are actually trying out new different technologies in Tengah as well. Like for example, they are trying like a centralised cooling system.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is that?
They're, instead of your normal aircon that are in normal HDBs now and in our estate, they're actually trying this centralized cooling system, which is it's an opt-in process. And then of course, I think 9 in 10 early residents actually sign up. So actually the first batch, they had teething problems because it is a new system altogether. Yeah, so like the unit not cold enough, there's condensation, and then of course SP Group has been rectifying the EV charging infrastructure that is genuinely useful. Overall, the real intent first batch issues are expected for innovation at this scale.
And I think why Tengah Residences sells well, I think mainly because of a few factors. First of all, of course, the strong market demand from people like what you mentioned, from Jurong, from Bukit Batok, or even Choa Chu Kang, that area. And even in fact, some of the people staying in the north, like Woodlands, Marsiling, there is also considering Tengah side because of the attractive entry price. Yes. And for those that have a more investment kind of instinct, they feel that it's a good time to go into, because it's the same. If today you go to somewhere, it's already with the human crop, the price will go high. So it's always the risk of taking something that is underdeveloped, but at a good entry price. But I think in Singapore, the good thing about property is that there's no speculation, right? Unlike a lot of countries, because of speculation, the prices can go up. But say Singapore, whether it's SARS, whether it's COVID, or even the war happening around the world, the prices are still, because there's nobody who will just like sell and move out. Yep. Because of the MOP, because of the SS. So the policy that the government actually puts in actually helps to ensure buyers or even investor that their asset is actually protected somehow, right? So when we look into the conclusion, do you think that those that are moving into Tengah is actually making the right move today?
I would say it depends on the profile of the buyer.
Right.
So for Tengah, specific, there are actually 3 types of profiles that will buy now. So of course, there are first-timers who want the fresh 99 years in the rising area. And then of course, BTO is of course of great value now. And then of course, the second profile will be the long-term investors who are in the Western Corridor story. They are in line with the Western Corridor story Then the third one will of course be the future upgrader. So Tengah Garden Residence is actually the first private condo, right? And then it's actually priced among the lowest PSF for the OC outside Central Region. And then of course you're betting on the HDB upgrader demand pool in 5 to 8 years. So actually I would say the only people that is not for is people who need CBD access. Now or even the full amenities, because it's not fully ready yet.
And in fact, also for investor that are ready for the long-term holding, because Tengah, like what you mentioned, is yet to develop fully.
Yeah.
So if those investors, if you are thinking to buy a project to flip within 3 to 4 years or 5 years, this might not be the best project for you, unfortunately. But if you are willing and you aim for the long run, I think Tengah Residences and project in the Tengah area can be considered.
Yeah, I mean the good real case study, of course, Punggol area where people bought BTO at around maybe 300 to 400 for a 4-room flat. And then now actually it has doubled already.
Of course. But I think the most important thing is that when government make this kind of setup, I think they also plan for future growth.
Yep.
Instead, because government won't spend energy, time and resources to build a dead town. That's the thing about Singapore government. Accept and go. Are you planning to flip in a short period of time, or you are planning for the long-term game? I think this is important. So if you have any question, feel free to speak to Andrea or myself so that we can actually guide you on a personal case-by-case basis.
So of course our final verdict is of course the first mover advantage is real but it requires patience, because you're buying into a government-backed master plan with 50% of the infrastructure still to be delivered. So of course prices will follow the infrastructure. So now you're buying at essentially you're buying at 50% of the future price
It's a very daring statement 50%, but I believe so because if you look at 10, 20 years back, nobody will expect that HDB crossed 1 million. Right, today I can tell you certainly in years to come 2 million for HDB will not be unrealistic. Confirm one.
Okay.
2 million. There's buying property is going to earn from it, and then market demand and all. I believe there is it's a matter of time.
Yeah, but I'm sure government will have cooling measures. If not, a lot of people
will slow down the process. But this is something that you cannot prevent one for sure. If not, let's see. But for those that miss out Tengah Residence, you miss out already. You hear this podcast, you think they really want to buy, but pangkang already because they already sold 99%. Fear not. Speak to us, and we will introduce you other project that is specifically suitable for your personal, based on your personal financial profile.
Yeah, I mean because actually there's still a lot undervalued potential in the market
That's right.
Not just new launch. There's also some post-launch projects. There's even resale projects that are worth buying into. Given the master plan that has also just been finalized last year.
And people might miss it out because of the hype of new launches. They always chase for whatever is new, but there are some really good buy on hands that we can share with you personally. So I think that's all for today for the Marketplace Insight, and we will see you again.
Okay.
Okay?
Not bad.
Okay.
Not as